There are 10 people in a room. Everyone shakes every other person's hand once. How many total handshakes are made? So you need to first pause and reflect on this question and understand it very well and know what is required. So let us try and break it down. First, let's try and see if we can develop a pattern for this. Now, let's imagine that there are only 2 people in this room. How many total handshakes will be made between these 2 people? So we have one person here and we have this other person. So they exchange handshakes. So they make one handshake. Here the order does not matter because this person greets this person or this person greets this person. It doesn't matter who greets who, but it is just one handshake that is made. So this implies that 2 people make one handshake. Now, what if there were 3 people in the room? We have one person here. This is the second person. And this is the third person. This is person A. This is person B. And this is person C. So A and B make a handshake. A and C make a handshake, then A and B also make a handshake, then B and C also make a handshake. Therefore, this implies that we have this here, which A shakes B, A also shakes C, shakes C's hand, then B shakes C's hand, or C shakes B's hand. Order really does not matter. All that matters is this person greets C or C greets B with one handshake. So that means here, among 3 people, there are 3 handshakes. Here, there were 2 people, and we got one handshake. While here, for 3 people, we have gotten 3 handshakes. Why is that? We're trying to see if we can get a pattern which is consistent. But so far, it doesn't seem that way. So, because now if 2 people are getting one handshake, why is it that 3 people are getting 3 handshakes? Let's go further and look at 4 people. How many handshakes exist between them? So we have one person here, this is the third, and this is the 4th person. Let this person be A, this be B, and this person be C, and this one D. So there is a handshake between a handshake between A and B. Then there is a handshake between these. There's also a handshake between these, and there is a handshake between these. Here, you realize there is also a handshake. A has greeted C and A has greeted B, but A has not shaken hands with D. So that means there is a handshake between A and D. Also, B has shaken hands with A and also with D, but they have not shaken hands with C. So there is another handshake between B and C. So that implies that we have a handshake. So A shakes with B. Then A also shakes with C. Also A shakes with D. So A shakes with 3 different people. So in total we have 3 handshakes that are made with A, and also now B has shaken A, but B shakes with D, and also B shakes with C. So far we have 5. A, B. So they must appear 3 times. A appears 3 times, B appears 3 times, C appears 2 times. So there is one missing. So C has shaken with A, C has shaken with B, C has not yet shaken with D. So C shakes with D. So In total, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 handshakes among 4 people. So with 2 people, there was 1 handshake. With 3 people, there were 3 handshakes. Now with 4 people, there are 6 handshakes. Now as you realize, as the number of people in the room keeps on increasing, the work for determining the number of handshakes becomes a little bit tedious. So we need to come up with a way we can solve this in a much more simpler way. Otherwise, we are bound to make mistakes if we follow this approach here of drawing or, illustrating it in this way. And besides, what if there are really so many people, let's say 100 people in a room? Are you still going to follow the same approach? That is impossible. You cannot. So you need to determine how many total handshakes are made. For example, between 100 people in a room. If each shook the other's hand once, it becomes impossible to use this approach here. So this becomes irrelevant. Now we need to find a way to solve it simply, or a representation. Now, since this is a math accounting problem, you know that order of counting is very, very important. Or the way things happen is very important. Now we have 2 types of counting problems. We have what we call combinations and we have what we call permutations. Now for permutations, so we have permutations and combinations. For permutations, the order is very important. The order in which things are done is very important. While for combinations, the order is not important or does not matter. Now in our problem, we saw that when 3 people shake hands, their order doesn't matter. A shakes B. So we consider that as 1. Whether B shook A or A shook B, that doesn't matter. What matters is that A and B shook hands once. Then A and C shook hands. It doesn't matter who shook whose hand, if A is the one who shook B or C's. Here the order does not matter. Also, when 4 people, it's the same thing. That means this is a combinations problem because the order is not important. So we must use the combinations formula. Now, combinations, which is represented as C, here we have K and N. This means the number of combinations of N objects taken K at a time. That's how you interpret this. Number of combinations, that the number of combinations N. So N represents the number of combinations of N objects that are taken K at a time. So portion K is like the portion that is considered at a time. So in our problem, N is the number of people in the room, which is 10. N is 10. And you know that a handshake happens between 2 people. You cannot greet 3 people at the same time. So a handshake happens between 2 people. So that means K is 2. This means the event happens between 2 people at a time. Okay? Now the equation for combinations, or the formula is, so it is CNK is equals to n factorial over n minus k factorial times k factorial. Now this is the formula for combination problems, or a combination. That's how you solve a combination. Now what does this n factorial mean? N factorial simply means this is equals to, let's start with, say, 5 factorial, and that is simpler to understand. Now 5 factorial is the same as 5, then times 4 times 3 times 1. 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times, this is 2 times 1, then times 2 times 1. 0, for 0 factorial, this is equals to 1. So that means that n factorial is equals to n, then times you reduce this by 1, so it will become n minus 1. Then times you reduce this by 1 to become n minus 2. Then times you reduce this by 1, n minus 3, like that, until you reach 1. Remember, we said our n is equals to 10, that is because there are 10 people in the room, and 2 people, it's okay, 2 people can shake hands at a time. So C here, n which is 10, k which is 2 will be equals to n factorial which is 10 factorial over n minus k which will be 10 minus 2 factorial times k which is 2 factorial. And remember I've said the factorial means you multiply by the reducing predecessors. So this will be equals to 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over 10 minus 2 is 8. So we shall have 8 times, so 8 factorial, which will be 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, then times 2 factorial, which is 2 times 1. So as you can see, these cancel out. Sorry, yeah, with this, and this. So we are left with 10 times 9 over 2 times 1, which is equals to, this is 90 over 2 times 1 is 2. So 90 divided by 2 is equals to 45. So there were 45 handshakes that in total that were made in that room. Now, this looks, what if you have, say, 100 factorial? Will you use 100, like, you can easily put this in the calculator. You can say 10 factorial over 8 factorial times 2 factorial. You must have a scientific calculator. So, you could have solved this. We have C10 being equal to 10 factorial over 10 minus 2 factorial, This is equals to 10 factorial over 8 factorial, 2 factorial. Now here, 10 can be expressed in terms of 8 factorial. How is that? Remember, this is multiplied by the predecessor. So it's 10 times 9 times 8 factorial over 8 factorial times 2 factorial. So this cancels with this and we are left with 10 times 9 over 2 factorial, which is 2 times 1. So this is equals to 90 over 2, which is equals to 45. So there are 45 handshakes in total that were made. So that's how you solve for such a problem. Thank you so much for watching. Kindly subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Like the video, comment and share. Let's meet in the next video.